All right, the Warriors kept all the receipts, like this tweet from Grizzlies forward Jaren Jackson Jr. back in March. The Grizzlies beat Golden State by 28 in a game where none of the Warriors' big three played, and Jackson Jr. feeling good, tweeting strength in numbers after the game, a direct shot at the Warriors' old slogan. Here's Clay on that tweet.
This was a collective effort, and strength in numbers is alive and well. I can't wait. There was this one player on the Grizzlies who tweeted strength in numbers after they beat us in the regular season, and it pissed me off so much. I can't wait to retweet that thing. Freaking bum. I had to watch that. I'm just like, this freaking clown. Okay. Sorry. That memory just popped up. You're going to mock us? Like, you ain't ever been there before, bro. We been there. We know what it takes. So to be here again, hold that.
Strength in numbers, alive and well. In the words of Kendrick Perkins, John Morant saw that and thought the Grizzlies were living rent-free in the Warriors' heads, then tweeting, got a lot of real estate. Draymond tweeted back, we traded that real estate in, John Morant. The property value was higher in Boston. Stephen A., let me ask you this. Are the Grizzlies going to be the biggest threat to the Warriors in the West next season?
I believe they will. I believe they will. I believe in the Memphis Grizzlies. And let me say this for the record, KP and Molly, I have no problem with what Klay Thompson did. It doesn't matter whether he's right or wrong or whatever. I love the fact that a champion talks like that because it gives us insight to what they're thinking and what kind of things that motivate them to elevate themselves to another level. So, during the season, I promise you, Klay Thompson, if we had asked him about it, in all likelihood, he wouldn't have said much about it. But now that he won the championship, he's showing you what's on his mind. So he's giving you insight that when people, speculate about the level of fodder that might exist, or angst or hostility that might exist between players or teams or whatever, it's more real far more often than the players are willing to admit. Now, to be clear, Jaren Jackson Jr. is no bum. That brother can play. And he's got tremendous promise and influence. He averaged about 2.3 blocks a game. He averaged about 16 points a game. He can hit a three. He can definitely defend and block shots. He's a rim protector and what have you. And by the way, they were up 55 on the Golden State Warriors in Game 5. And Ja Morant got hurt and couldn't participate in Games 5, 6, and 7. And so you have a Memphis Grizzlies squad that clearly believes if Ja Morant were healthy, that the outcome might have been different. I don't think so. I picked the Warriors all year, and I wasn't jumping off of that. But the bottom line is, we all understand it could have been different. Having said all of that, I definitely think that this is the kind of rivalry we should look forward to. I hope the NBA schedule makers do exactly what Ja Morant requested. Put Memphis and Golden State on Christmas Day. Because the one thing that we should all appreciate about the Memphis Grizzlies, which might have a lot to do with why Kendrick Perkins and Jay Williams and them picked Memphis to begin with. This is the one thing we got to appreciate about Memphis more than anything else. They talk that talk, and they don't wilt beneath the pressure. They show up on the court, and they back it up. These ain't some punks now. These ain't some non-ball players now. These brothers can ball, and they got heart. And so when I'm looking at it from that perspective, understand they mean what they say. It would be one thing to be talking smack on Twitter, all right? Klay Thompson says that about Jaren Jackson Jr., all right? Ja Morant claps back. Draymond Green gets into the mix. And what does Ja Morant say? Please give them us on Christmas Day. He's asking for it. See, that's the kind of that's what basketball's about. We ain't talking about cheap shots. We ain't talking about fights. We ain't talking about dudes getting ejected. We ain't talking about people. We talking about ballers saying, all right, let's get it on. And this is June. The season just ended. And Ja Morant already gave us something. And Klay Thompson, of course. And they've already given us something to look forward to next season. I love it. This is what basketball is supposed to be about. Cats like that, KP, deserve the money because they're going to go out on the court and they're going to give us what we asking for. They deserve the money. That's what I'm talking about.
Don't you? We're not even about to go there, but look, you absolutely right. This is what I'm talking about. I don't want to see jersey swaps and people taking pictures. I want to see the beef. And they doing the beef the right way because, look, Yes, it's over social media, but they talking about what they go do between the lines. Here's the thing. I'm about to pull a JJ Redick. Yeah, I'm about to pull a JJ Redick on here real quick. Okay. Will the Grizzlies and Dubs be the best NBA rivalry next season? Yes, they will. When it comes down to them matching up and us wanting to see that action, because we know that both of these teams don't like each other. We saw what happened in the postseason, the flagrant fouls, Ja Morant and Draymond Green going back and forth on social media. We won't tune into that. We want to see it. But are they the biggest threat to the Golden State Warriors next year, and especially in the Western Conference? No, they're not. And you know how I feel about the Memphis Grizzlies, but they're not the biggest threat. It's going to be the best rivalry. The biggest threat is going to be the Los Angeles Clippers, a healthy Los Angeles Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Covington, Norman Powell, Big Zubac down there mixing it up, Reggie Hot Sauce Jackson, and then being coached by one of the best coaches in the game, period, in Tyronn Lue. And then you have Nicholas Batum. See, here's the thing that people have to realize. What I noticed in today's game, and really it's been over the past, in order to win at a high level and win a championship, you need wings. You need versatile wings that could score the basketball and defend.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.